because we have that problem now.
Yes.
We will be so selfish and petty and undermining each other and won't even learn the Quran to guide us on what to do. And the Prophet he left his hadith, he said, تَرَكْتُمْ فِيكُمْ مَا إِن تَمَسَكْتُمْ بِهِ لَن تَجِدُّوا أَبَدًا كِتَابُ اللَّهِ وَسُنَّتِي, that I have left فِيكُمْ in you. That if you tamasaktum, if you cling to it, لَن تَجِدُّوا أَبَدًا, you will never go astray. And that is the Kitabullah, the book of Allah and my Sunnah. It didn't say, some translations say, I have left with you. It says, Turaktum fi kum. Fi means what? In. Kum is you plural. He left in you the natural nature to gravitate toward the tamasaktum. Tamasaktum is from the word mesaka. It means to hold on clean. The word must comes from this. Must. You know must? That you put on? Not must. Must. Yeah, you have to correct these things. Like Egyptian must. You heard of Egyptian must? You put that all on. Now, if I had a bottle of Egyptian must, and everybody came up and sampled and put it on their body, even though it goes on with the same smell, ribonucleic acid, DNA is going to change the aroma of it just for your chemistry.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because you all have a different chemistry.
Right.
But you got it from the same Quran.
Yes.
So when you tamasaktum, you cling to what Allah put in the Quran for the nature that He put in you, in your DNA, for your fingerprint. Then what's going to evolve out of you is what Allah created for you to be.
Yes.
Takbir. Takbir. This is God who has done this.
Yes.
He has made you individual. He has made you alive. He has saved us from slavery and all this other stuff. And you are now here on a Saturday night having a fundraiser for the historic Masjid Wali Muhammad here in Detroit, Michigan, that a foreigner came and gathered 25,000 people together to accept an Islam that had a certain flavor to it that wasn't clear enough, but it helped us get up out of hell.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Yes.
They can say, did you can, somebody say, well, they say the honorable, I know, you can't see honor. That's why when you hear me in Juma, I say, the most honorable, I'm most honorable. You can't choke me out. Because he is honorable, and I can prove it from the Quran, because Allah said, you have been noble and honored all of the children of Adam, and you were the child of Adam. So you have to be able to look at you honorable. If you don't, that's why I say, if you don't look at your innocence, then you're going to be walking around guilty. And that's why we're walking around. I got a guilty feeling. Why? Because I'm a nigga. I'm just so excited. Y'all, calm down. I'm going to sit down so I can calm down. But you don't know how much I love this religion. You don't know how much I love to teach this religion. You know how much I pray to Allah to ask me to reach His servants with this religion so they can come to His Quran, so they can do what He wants done. Allah blessed us with Imam Waladin Muhammad to bring us to this Quran. He blessed us with the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Well, we had the Quran, and anytime he had the Quran. See, y'all don't know. But the honorable Elijah Muhammad, every time you see him with the Quran, this is what he had. Go look at some of the pictures. He honored this book. He couldn't read it like his son. But he always said, keep the Quran where? Where? On the highest shelf in the house. Imam Muhammad said, you think it's that raggedy house you had? It's all about your mind. He said, keep it on the highest point in your mind. This is your house right here. So Allah said, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ أَقْفَالُهَا. Will you not consider the Quran as a manager over your life? Or is it that your hearts are locked up? Let me tell you something. Our problem is that we we have become afraid of the Quran. And we are afraid of the Quran because of the plantation ghost that is in there. Nigga, you can't do. You can't read that Arabiya. You can't hardly speak English. I'm telling you. I've been dealing with this now for over 35, 40 years. I remember selling Muhammad Speaks newspaper. And I would say, hey, black brother, Muhammad Speaks. I ain't black, I ain't your brother. I'm his brother. Some of you remember those days. I said, brother, you ain't Spanish either. And Negro mean black in Spanish. But that's when we were brave. That you can walk up to, I walked up to a brother one time. In fact, this is how I used to do it. You remember the paper was 20 cents?
Yes.
Some of you remember 20 cents. You did 15, then 20 cents. Right? I have my own stack 5 pennies and I put them on his arm. Here you go, my brother. Give me $1. Well, I'm gonna do it all. I said, I got 300. You got, oh, I said, that's only 5. I said, don't you love your mother? Yeah, I do. What about your aunt, your grandmother, your best friend? Give them a gift of knowledge. Well, I don't know if I can get 5 of them. Give me 2 of them. Well, I only wanted to say I won. But I put 5 on it. They put 300 on me. Yeah, let me tell you something. But man, when I was on 5335 Greenwood in Chicago. I hadn't been in long, maybe about 6 months. And I made it to my 300. Lieutenant Douglas, may Allah bless him for giving his sins. Some of you remember him. He was murdered in Chicago. And he would come down with the paper. We would line up in the basement down Greenwood, and he would give you extra papers. You know, like if you didn't have up to a quota, he'd give you 25 more, 50 more, whatever. Just write it up. You had to pay for them too. Up front, am I right or wrong? Right. Ain't no, I'll keep the money back to you. You pay for them papers up front. So he gets to me, I'm just all fired up. I don't reach my 300. And I'm standing there, how many papers you got? 300, sir! I'm standing like this. That's not enough. A man like you should be doing 325. I took them. I sold them. That was the mission.
Yes.
Muhammad Speaks. Wasn't that the program?
Yes.
What was the program? The #1 program was Muhammad Speaks newspaper. The fish, the books, etc., etc., etc. Well, the #1 program now, brothers, if you want to make it, is the Quran.
Yes. Yes.
It's the #1. You want to live? You want to be free? You want to advance? Get the Quran. That is the book. In it, there's nothing in it to make you uncomfortable or suspicious or doubtful about your life. It is the guidance for those who are conscious of God in everything. Brother, man, that's kind of hard. But I've been trying to get the Arabiya in the Quran. And I've been at it. Who created your brain?
Allah.
Huh? Allah. Do you trust Allah?
Yes.
Allah can turn your brain on and trust Him. I wish I could show you this video. There's a 2-year-old in this video that's correcting her daddy when he's reciting Surah Al-Rahman. 2 years old. He makes a mistake, she makes it correct. He recites, he makes a mistake, he makes it correct. He makes it correct. 2 years old. I say it's a miracle. Look, stop thinking I'm too old to get it. My brain is just fried right now. I heard so many things you turn your life to Allah, Allah will make your whole system new. Allah said He renews all things. Khalqin Jadid. He makes all things new. Everything. If you have faith. Now, I have a program that I do called How to Make the Quran User Friendly. You see, the internalization of the Quran to subconscious. It's a program that I do. And you can read better with your subconscious mind than your conscious mind that has been fragmented and beat up in this world. But the conscious mind, it still has its form, its design, and its obedience in it. But, you know, I try to tell people, you learn the Quran by heart. You memorize the Quran by brain. There's a difference. What is the difference? It's this. When you hear something and you like it, do you say, I want to learn that by brain? What do you say? I want to learn that by what? Heart. Where do you get that habit from? I need to learn that by heart. Because the heart has a brain in it. The heart has a brain in it. I wanted to do that myself here. Excuse me, let me show you. You got a minute?
Yes, sir.
I'll be criticized for teaching too long. You held the line. You held the people too long. I love it though. Well, I don't have it here. I do it another time. But
The yellow book?
no, the book that what I do with I have a workshop that I do on the intelligent brain and the intelligent heart, connecting the two brains. Because they have shown scientifically now, and they've been doing this for a long time, that the heart has a brain in it. It has a brain in it. The same ganglia that's in the brain is in the heart. And you learn heart with your heart first. The Quran, where was revealed? On the brain of Muhammad? Huh? It was revealed ala kulubika, upon his heart. And his heart was already a receptor for it because it pleaded with God for guidance. His heart. And then the heart got it and sent it to his brain. And Imam Muhammad said this. He said that they tell you that he went up in the cave and received the light. That's true. But what cave? He said your head, your skull. He said that's a cave. He said the learner won't tell you that the cave is the skull. But it's his skull. And you have the two veins here, the jugular vein. And they connect between the brain and the heart. And I have a picture to show you where Allah's name is written right on your heart. It's written right there in the heart. In Arabic, not in English. I don't believe you. Just hang on.
Yes, sir.
Trust what God blessed you with in your leadership. Stop letting people talk against your leadership.
That's right.
They wasn't doing nothing for you. They left you over here in Satan. I ain't mad with them. But don't try to take what God blessed us with to establish. So Farad Muhammad came with some actual facts. And some other things.
Yes.
But it got us to thinking.
Yes.
It got Elijah Muhammad off the knickers.
Yes.
This woman, Clara Muhammad, may God bless her soul and grant her care, went out and found her man drunk.
Yeah.
Carried him up the stairs
Uh-huh.
and told him, honey, there's a man down there talking some talk that might help you. That's what the woman do. And she took that man down there. He heard him. He said, I know who you are. And he got to become an honorable follower of Farad Muhammad.
Yes.
This is history, right from here in Detroit, Michigan.
Yes.
That's why it's historic. How can we let them take this history from us? This room should be lined up with photographs and et cetera, and giving tours. And charge them to come on tour. There, you go right down into Motown. The man took me by that day, he lined up. You see about the music. Boom, 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 boom. I got what? When it's cold outside. And you know all of that. Why? Because it's in your subconscious. That's right. It's in your subconscious. And many other things is in there that don't need to be in there. Let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. Allah has blessed us as a student of Imam Waterfield Muhammad. Allah has blessed me to survive against a whole lot. For this purpose that I'm here today, to teach this religion before I get wrapped up. I know I'm going to get wrapped up. I don't know how soon, but many of the people I came in with and went under, like Imam Bacha and others, they're leaving. Brothers are getting cancer and etc. They're getting wrapped up and gone. I know, and I'm working like that now. I'm working like I'm going to leave here any day. I'm trying to establish the Islamic Learning Institute so it'll be preserving the language of Imam W. Muhammad. That's what I do. I do techniques for learning Arabic. I support all Arabic teachers, all Quranic teachers. I don't knock anybody. But I will challenge you. You give me 10 people, and you take your 10. I guarantee you, my 10 will outstrip your 10 in learning the Quran any day. I'm not knocking nothing. I've been doing this for I studied us. I've studied us. I begged Allah to give me techniques to help the community learn Arabic. Especially when the Imam told me, I said, Brother Imam, when do you think this fitna and fighting us are going to be eliminated in the community? Because I had just left a council meeting. I was on the council meeting at that time. It was hard like cats and dogs, like niggas. They act like niggas. And questioning the Imam. And I stood up to him, I said, let me tell you, and I did just like, I'm glad that I had that background. Because I told him, I said, let me tell you niggas something. They got to take some place, I know it, because if we had to take, we take the meeting. I said, let me tell you niggas something. You talking about Imam, you question the Imam on this and we can do this. I said, you just got out of blue uniform marching up and down the street. How you going to question him?
Yes.
Because they weren't studying the Quran. But let me tell you something, and they're my brothers, many of them, some of them are gone. Some of them are gone on, alhamdulillah. So I bless them and forgive them. And that's another thing, brothers and sisters. I don't knock any of those pioneers who sacrificed.
That's right.
They made bad mistakes, some of them, and except some ministers and others, but they came during a time when people wouldn't even want to call themselves black.
Yes.
And they stood up with Elijah Muhammad.
Right.
And they have to be recognized for that. Don't be talking about, well, I remember he said that. That's our hero. They still celebrate Jesse James and Al Capone. These are some niggas. White gangsters and things. And they got history on them. Well, we have people who have contributed to our advancement.
That's right.
They didn't have all of the Quran and all that. They had what they had at that time.
Yes.
But I know some soldiers that passed on, like Captain Ali Rashid. He was a soldier's man soldier. Many of them. So let's remember that. Let's remember what Farah did. Let's remember what Elijah did. Don't let nobody talk about your daddy. This man was 5'6", about 135, 40 pounds, and stood up and called the white man a devil.
Yes.
To his face.
Yes.
In a time when you would be hanging from a tree.
That's right.
That's right. That's one of the reasons I came into the nation.
Yes.
I said, I wanted to fight with guns and stuff. And I wouldn't join the Muslims because they wouldn't carry no guns. So I put this black revolutionary group, so-called, and one of the brothers got caught after we had did some things. Liberating weapons and stuff. And one of the brothers got caught was only one pig. You know, pig. I said, man, it's only one pig, man. Let's get this brother loose. And we had guns, carpets, banana clips where you load it up, flip it over, because we had to take together. I said, it's only one pig, man, let's get it. Well, you know, brother, the black law says this. I think I said, I'm on 15 months parole. I said, I'll be on my way back to jail. Okay, that's why this is my reading now. I said, I'm going to join the Muslims. Because I knew when I was in prison, the Muslims stuck together.
Yes.
That's right.
So I said, now, I said, Elijah is smart. I said, Elijah is smart. I said, he's got to have a secret army. There's no way that he can be talking this bad about the white man and not have a training or something for the army. I'm going to join the Muslims and work my way into the secret army. On my way. So when I joined and got my X and everything, I asked him, I said, you still with me? I said, Lieutenant, how does one advance in the nation? He said, just be needed. Just do what you told you. I said, yeah, but how will you advance? Oh, see, I'm trying to advance to the secret army. He said, just do what you told to be needed. I said, that's all. Yeah, it is. Man, every time they needed a volunteer. Everything. Next thing I know, I was squad leader. Then I became lieutenant, then I became second lieutenant. I just moved up the ranks. Still looking for never found it. Never found it. Not like that anyway. But I'm just saying, we all came here for different reasons at different times and different conditions and etc. However, Allah have me now teaching from this book that is Quran. I'm not well, I can't say that. I was going to say I'm not a scholar. Because I told him, Imam Muhammad, that at a meeting one time when he was saying, she said, we have our own scholars. Imam Qasim, he's a scholar. I said, oh, Imam ain't no scholar. He snapped at me, you are a scholar. A scholar is not one who just reads and writes and then repeats what he's learned. A scholar is one who learns and improves upon what he's learned. And what he's done within Arabic is improved. I wanted to crawl under the table, under the rug. We was in a restaurant. I wanted to hide for years. Because here I am telling my leader, W.E. Muhammad, he telling me what I am, and I'm telling me what I am. And I follow him. But then I said it in public with other imams sitting at the table when he said I was a scholar, and I'm going to tell him in front of them I ain't no scholar. Oh, he corrected me on the spot quick. So I'm very careful when I tell people I ain't no scholar, because I am. But I don't go bragging about that.
Yes.
I just tell you what the facts are, and whether you want it or not, it's up to you. Now, let me give you something I'm working on now. We're going to have a good discussion tonight. Look, they know me. They know me. They know I love this religion, and I am going to promote it regardless.
Yes, sir.
This is my job. Allah gave it to me years ago. and I will not betray him. Now, I want to share something with you. I'm working on a book right now. I got 18 different books I'm working on. I'm working to get them printed and accepted. And I did a program years ago in 1979 when I was in Dallas, Texas, on memorizing the chapters of the Quran. And from time to time I do it here and there. So it's a sister in at San Antonio. She's in San Antonio, got the document, and she started putting pictures with the storyline there. I call it the never-ending story. And the logic of it, at the time I developed it, was in Dallas. I was in Imam in Dallas. And my goal was to teach the children how to memorize the chapter titles. Now, why did I do that? You know your body that you have right now? If I say to you, or if you say that,
No.
if you say, my right ear, do you touch your nose?
No.
Say, I'm hungry. Do you touch your eyeball?
No.
Did you touch it? Right?
Right.
You know your body parts.
Yes.
You know your anatomy. You know the general area. If your head hurt, your knee hurt, you know, the doctor, when you go to the doctor, what did he ask you? Where does it hurt? Right? You go to the psychologist, he said, sit back. Let's go back as far as you can remember. When was the last time, the earliest that you were really happy? When I was 5 years old when I got my first bike. They go back into you, right? All right. So my reasoning now was that if you know the Quranic part of the chapters, first know the chapters where they are. So I developed a system where you can learn them. I leave 14 chapter titles. And give you an example. I said the opening of the cow by the family of Imran, and the women spread the table, and the cattle were taken on the height where the spoils of war were taken, and they had to have repentance, so 3 prophets had to come: Jonah, Hud, Yusuf, along with the thundering message of Ibrahim down the rocky tracks, you know, where and the bees was chasing him with the children of Israel into the cave.
Take beer!
That's 20 chapters. So the sister Akram at that time, she said, oh, brother Imam, that's mnemonic. I said, what is mnemonic? Well, you know mnemonic. I didn't even know what it was. But I created this whole line where you get unfolded. So now now once you know what the chapter is, then I broke it up into, like Baqarah had 286 verses for 40 sections. You see what I'm saying? So now you know what's under each section. You know what the prostration, etc. So I had immigrants. Are you Hafiz? I said, no, I'm not Hafiz. But you seem to go in and out of the Quran because I studied the Quran in its application.
Yes.
You see? Now, if you do this with our children, where they can see how to apply the Quran and think with the Quran and etc., they will be running away from us.
Yes.
Because they have confidence in the book.
Yes.
Right now, we're trying to teach them the way somebody else learned it, and they're ancient. They stay in a tent in the desert, and we're trying to use methodology of that. God has blessed your brother with techniques, and He has blessed other people with techniques. Let us utilize them and come together and begin to educate. I talked with Dr. Hamid, and he's not here, but I'll tell you, he gave me some of the things they're working on curriculum. I've been on almost every curriculum committee in this country since the time we started curriculums. And I went over and I said, look, I said, what you're working on is good, but we're still focusing in on what they want you to teach, and that's the mind. I said, God began teaching the soul. The soul was created before the mind came into existence. And the Quran says, وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا, and the soul in the perfection of order that's given to it. فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا, and its enlightenment to its potential of what is fujura and what is taqwa. I said fujura, they translate it as what is evil and bad. But fujura, Imam Muhammad said, is from fajr. when the light, you can't see through it. You see? He said, for Judah is the ego in the soul who is trying to please Allah but lost his way and is trying to find it. I said, the taqwa is the soul, the ego in the soul that has stayed with his way and nowhere to go. فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. So فَأَلْهَمَهَا is another type of education. It's the enlightenment of the soul by its potentiality that's in the soul, and you can name everything in creation. That's how I get it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
I know you getting heavy with that Arabic. It's very simple. I told him, I said, look, we have what I call the ignition of cognition. You know what cognition means? That's the activity for thought. Ignition, you know what an ignition is. When you get in the car, where you put the key? You put it in ignition. Now you just push a button. All right. But the car is already set up to respond to the computerized key to ignite the cognitive processes of the car. Now what about the child? What about the human being? What about you? In you, there's a cognitive process in your all you have to do is put the key in. Boom. And it starts up the cognitive process. I have a book called Brainstorming with the Quran. Well, Allah blessed me to go and pull out 15 thinking processes that develop in the child as it is growing. You see, but the teacher can't recognize them if they don't know. And to give you more fact about it, when I was dealing with this, I was in Miami. We was in Miami at that time. And I asked this brother, I was trying to find out what was the idiomatic expression for fiqh. You heard the term fiqh, right? So I asked this guy, who's a scholar from Egypt, I said, what is the idiomatic expression in the child for fiqh? How does he, idioms is how you use it on a regular basis. So he said, oh, you mad? There's no fiqh in the child. The fiqh is a high science that such and such and such and such and such and such. I already know. He ain't on this level. I thank him. The following week I was on a plane with Imam Water Muhammad. I asked him this question, I showed him the book. He said, wow. He said, I'll buy this book just off the cover. When I had a picture of the brain and thinking process and something. So he says to me, I said, what do you mean? I asked this question, what is the idiomatic expression of the child for fiqh? I lost my witness. He took about 10 seconds. He put his head down like this and said, I would say it's curiosity.
Wow.
Just like that. Wow. No hesitation. He said, because the child has curiosity. Right. Like every human being. And his curiosity leads him to understand. So fiqh means understand. But you can't get to the understanding unless you're curious. But we kill the curiosity in our children, and in you it's killed. You ain't curious no more. Except for some out of whack. But man, you should be curious. Why thunder? Why lightning? Why was God? Why was that? He had a curiosity. And Allah turned on the Al-Hama'a for Judah in him. And that was in the dark, like Fajr time, the light came up and he began to see. So in the Quran, in the same movement of the Quran, it said, وَسُبِّهِ إِذَا تَنَفَّسَ وَسُبِّهِ إِذَا تَنَفَّسَ. And the dawn, as it breathes away the darkness. And when I was discussing this with the Imam, he said, this is the birth of psychology in the creation. He said, because in psychology, you start out in the dark, and you need to come into the light so you can see. So the word for psychology, like I told you in Juma, ilmun nafs, knowledge of the soul.
Right.
So the knowledge of the soul is right there in the Quran.
Right.
I wish I could talk to you for months and months straight until y'all see that you say, I don't want that. Then I'm getting the hell away from you. I'm serious. I ain't got time for it. If you want your soul to be free, if you want to go to the hereafter, free, not a slave to this world where you got to be pushed out and go back and correct something. Hell, You can't get back. It's called Buzzrock, a barrier set up, you can't cross it. What you go with over there is what you got. And it's like two children in the womb. I mean, I'm giving this to you. Two children in the womb. They're twins. And they're working to get what they need for this life. And one child just laying back relaxing in the water. The other one said, hey, Abdullah, you better get yourself together, but we're going to be getting out of here. I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm all right. I get ready. All right, and then boom, boom. At labor pains done. What's happening, man? Kareem, what's happening? Abdullah, I told you. We're going to get out of here. This is it. And he's trying to pull it together. So like, ain't happening. So they deliver. He comes out fully developed. The other one comes out deformed. When you leave this world, if you haven't prepared your soul with the cultivation of the Quran, you're going to go into the next life deformed, ill-equipped. I'm telling you. Oh, but amen, how you know Allah showed me in the Quran. So keep wasting time. You got it. You think you got it. I ain't wasting no time. I'm working on my soul every day. Bro, why you always studying the Quran? Why you doing? Because the Quran is the book. I'm not going to try and just get what this world got. I would rather have the Quran on my soul than 5,000 degrees from this world. Because you can't use it open. Now I'm telling you, it ain't nothing you can do with it. What you gonna do? You know, I'm gonna use my math. You ain't use that math over there. It's gonna be a totally different thing. Imam Muhammad said, Allah gonna bring in a whole new creation without using anything from the old. Wow. Not even the space. He won't even use his space. Now think of space not being used. You can't think of that because you can't think outside of space. Try it. Go ahead. You can't, because space contains you. But Allah will bring in a whole new creation without using anything from the old. The space, the night, the darkness, the ether, all of this. He won't use none. Because he is God. One in the world. And as I said in the Quran, he created you like he created you from the beginning. Al-Walain. He created you bare, alone, and naked. And when you go on hard, that's why you get naked. Because it's symbolic of how you return to God. So brothers and sisters, stop shucking and jiving, slipping and sliding, and all this other stuff we used to do. Get busy. Get busy. And if I don't see you again, know that I tried to tell you what I do. And I don't know much, but I know enough to tell you, get the Quran. Get the Quran. Make it your number one priority. Learn whatever you can, even if it's one sentence, one word. Learn. Study. Stop thinking that you are ill-equipped. God is over everything. Allah is in charge of everything.
Yes, sir.
And I want to say this. Those of you that didn't show up today, I wasn't disappointed, but you missed a good talk. I got it here. You should get it. I'm telling you that. I'm giving my advertisement now. And you can get one of each one. All we have to do is because look, this is how I make my living. I make my living by interacting with you. Now, if I ain't doing good, say, nigga, just go home, don't come back. I'll do that. Don't come to me. Is this a homecoming? It's still a homecoming. And I told you when I was here last time, Imam W. Muhammad said, understanding is the home of the mind. Yeah. Remember that? Yes, sir. If you understand, you're at home. Right. It's when you don't understand, you confused. Right. I didn't know understand what's going on. You ain't at home yet. Get your mind together. The Quran will give you an understanding, a perceptibility, and accuracy that you never knew. He will show you things in this world that you never imagined. Imam Muhammad told me once, he said, you know, Allah has blessed me with knowledge that's beyond this world's imagination. He said, he said, you know, Constance, you can have a pretty active imagination, can't you? I said, yes, sir. He said, there are things I want to tell you now, but there's not a language I can tell you it in that you will understand. Moving on. I ain't gonna go into all the other things because I might lose you. But this man was blessed by Allah. And Allah bless who he will when he will.
Yes, sir.
And those people say that Allah, he's the only one that knows the ta'weed. The ta'weed. You know this term ta'weed? It means that knowledge that is hidden. And only Allah knows it.
Absolutely.
But Imam said to the brother was telling him, but Imam, only Allah knows the ta'weed. The Imam told him, said, isn't Allah the teacher and can't he teach who he wants? The ta'weed? But yeah, but he's taught me the ta'weed. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. And just like he taught him, he can teach you. You are his servant. You have the heart that he put in you. Give your heart to Allah. And watch it. You're already sincere. Most of you are already sincere. You love God. That's why you're still here. You're already sincere. Let that sincerity come out. Do what I told you Friday. Change your mind and be kind. Let's start practicing mercy and kindness among each other. Let's start practicing love among each other. You know what it is. Just stop using the word, let's make love. No, make some real love. Learn how to be patient. Learn how to be kind. Learn how to be sincere. Look out for the elderly. Look out for the youth. Look out for the helpless and etc. Practice what you preach. Praise be to Allah. Oh Allah, guide us among those who God has guided right. And preserve us among those who God has preserved. And defend us among those who God has defended. And bless us in whatsoever thou doest grant. Oh Allah, deliver us from the evils in which thou hast judged. For surely thou judgest and none can judge against thee, and surely whom thou defendest is not disgraced. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Ameen. And let me tell you something. Don't leave without getting you about 10 or 15 CDs. Otherwise, Brother Ted, Brother Captain, lock the door.
Go ahead.
What I liked was that we had elder brothers and young brothers out helping, and they served us wonderfully, you know? And I just was thinking that maybe what we should do, inshallah, I'm going to use this. I think we should just put something in the basket. Whatever we put in there is okay. Allah bless them and multiply. And then let them decide what they want to do. They can split it up among themselves. They can give it to just the little kids. But the young fellas, they will like knowing that they this help serve us and we notice them. So I think it's something we should always do. Everywhere I go out to eat like Muslims, and I never go anywhere where the service is any better than it was today. It was an excellent service. And as a token of appreciation, I think we should tip them. So I'm just trying to do what we do, we just pass the basket.
Putting the first 50 in there?
So I mean, you don't have to do it, but I'm just saying.
Yes, we should. I agree. We should show appreciation. Wherever we are, when we at Red Lobster, we tip it. Okay? They're going to put it on your bill and make you tip. They're going to make sure. And brothers and sisters, how many, I know we all enjoy this beautiful night tonight. Yes. And again, on behalf of the committees who who put this program on, as they do every Imam's homecoming. We want to thank them and show our appreciation for them with a round of takbir. Allahu Akbar. And also, you know, for our excellent staff that cooks and works every Friday and every fundraiser, who we call the Muhsinin, those who work and go over and beyond the call of duty. We thank Allah for them. Brothers and sisters, I need your attention while you are paying the money back there. Remind us that tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock a.m. we have the community service breakfast. Okay? And from my estimation, we need you here. The Community Service Committee, to my estimation, is one of the strongest committees at Masjid Wali Muhammad. So we ask in your presence, brothers and sisters, we get the icing on the cake. Imam Qasim will be giving us a Ta'aleem lecture along with our bacon and eggs. So we encourage you. And we ask all of you to save some money to buy some CDs. Imam Qasim, he's got a whole table full of CDs. Okay? And so last visit, I think we bought everything he had. Okay, alhamdulillah. And I would like to reiterate that the workshop today, the Idle Mind is the Devil workshop, was an excellent talk. And you know, Imam asked me before he came, he said, Imam, what you been teaching about? I said, basically, I've been teaching about the devil. The devil and the idle mind and the idle workshop and how he represents and he gets into the negative thoughts in our mind, into the open space when we give him room. And whenever we give him room, and when he assails us, we should call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to attention, to get rid of him. That has been our main stumbling block, that he has been using us. Okay? And so we have to reject him. We have to reject him. And we'll be successful. So thank you, brothers and sisters. I'm not going to hold you. Are you ready now? Okay. Okay. Imam gave us one, two. You want another one? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Thank you, brother.
Allahu Akbar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب الله أكبر الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والتين والزيتون وطور سينين وهذا البلد الأمين لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون فما يكذبك بعد بالدين أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين السلام عليكم.